one of the conference semifinals. They get it 137-98. And oh, by the way, their two biggest playoff wins in playoff history have come in the last two games that they have played. Plus 51 against the Hawks. Thought they could do no better, and then they go plus 39 against the 76ers. Also tie a playoff franchise record for made threes. They were able to knock down 19 in this victory. Welcome inside the NBA Showtime studio, Maria Taylor alongside the Hall of Famers, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, and Carmelo Anthony. We heard Jalen Brunson telling Ashley Shamity we had focused. We used our defense to really ignite our offense, and they never looked back, Melo. Never turned down the jet.
Well, the defense was fantastic tonight. New York's defense was fantastic tonight. From the jump, you know, Jalen Brunson got them going. Cat got them going in the second quarter along with Jalen Brunson. And then defensively as a team, they just locked in. They was focused. They looked ready. They looked rested. And it looked like they was waiting for Philly to come in off of that, you know, the 24-hour layover.
Yeah, 48 hours later, you're in MSG.
Apparently, Philadelphia didn't listen to their coach in the locker room. Like, they had 12 o'clock to get that Boston game out of that system and get ready for this game because they wasn't ready.
No.
They wasn't ready. They wasn't ready for Brunson. And the thing is when you have your best player, when he comes out the gates like that and puts on that type of halftime, that sends a message to the team.
Yeah.
And I think they responded in great fashion of backing him up. And this was a great win for the New York Knicks. And I look for Philadelphia to make some adjustments, but bring a little bit more attention to detail in game two.
I mean, you both talked about offense, but their defense held a Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey-led team to 98 points, under 100 points. That says a lot about their defense as much as their offense. So for Philly, you're going to have to find your matchups, and you cannot allow Jalen Brunson, in my opinion, to rest on defense, and then be able to go at you and have 35-plus every night in this series, or you're not going to win this series.
They should be well rested, too, because they only played 26 minutes.
Spare those legs.
They shot 63 from the field and 51 from
incredible.
Unbelievable.
I just want to remind you guys of one thing. The Philadelphia 76ers lost by 32 and 30 points to the Celtics.
They'll be back.
Won the series instead.
They've
been down bad before. They've been down bad before. They know how to get back up off the ground.
This is what
but the Knicks win the first round, 137-98.
Games of the series 2 years ago, Wally, and tonight. Look at what he's done. His last 5 playoff games against the Sixers, 35, 41, 40, 47, 39. They don't really, you know, Atlanta, for all their problems, did have some guys that could give Brunson some trouble, like Dyson Daniels. They had some length. Does Philly have anybody that can really match up with him?
Oubre normally does a pretty good job on him. Oubre's got that same type
Actually,
of length.
Edgecombe during the regular season did a decent job, too.
Edgecombe's doesn't have the height, but he has the quickness. But you need to double Jalen Brunson.
And they didn't do that, right?
They didn't do it very much. And coming off those screens, when he has a little bit of an advantage, the defender's a little bit behind him, you're in deep trouble. You better bring help, or else he's going to turn the corner, get into the paint. We know he's an elite finisher when he gets his feet set in the paint, or he can kick it out to his teammates. Overall, like, Philly's going to have to make some serious adjustments to try to slow this Knicks team down. I think the one adjustment they're going to do is whenever Jalen catches the ball, we need to have 2 guys going after him. We cannot let him get off the way he got off in this game, because then the floodgates open and we're in deep trouble.
How about Cat? Played only 20 minutes.
Yes.
17 points, 6 more assists. Career average assists per game we talked about in the pregame, only 3. He's at 6 for these playoffs, last handful of games, 6 more tonight. He also had 6 rebounds, despite picking up 3 first-half fouls.
He's got to be careful with those fouls. That's one thing Cat and Mitchell Robinson can learn, is you can't put Embiid on the free throw line. You could see Embiid wants no part of finishing around the rim, knocking down field goals. He wants to get to the free throw line, get fouled, and earn cheap points. And conversely, Karl Anthony Towns continued to attack the bigs of Philadelphia. Drummond and Embiid are not the quickest big guys. They're big plotters, they're good rebounders, they're big bodies, but look at the quickness advantage that Karl Anthony Towns has over these guys. And then continue to involve him in the offense, put the ball in his hands, whether it's to knock down shots like that or to pass and facilitate. you can see what a big-time weapon he can be, passing the ball and running the offense through him.
Alan Hahn back from across the street. You know, we did talk about the fact that the expectation was that Philly would be somewhat fatigued after what happened, having to play Game 7 in Boston about 48 hours ago. But I don't know that anybody saw this coming.
No, not this. That second quarter was special, and what Jalen Brunson was able to do in that first half was also special. Think about this. It's the second highest first half a Knicks players had in the playoffs, and Jalen has the highest. So it just shows you the difference that he can make. And what Wally was talking about is exactly what you saw, is the gravity of everything happening offensively and the other players that can do things away from Brunson that now makes you have to. I go back to what Quinn Snyder said, the Atlanta Hawks coach. He said it's pick your poison with this team. It's you can't take it all away. You've got to hope some guys miss shots. And right now, nobody's missing shots. I mean, that's the one thing that you're noticing is OG Anunoby. Now Mikal Bridges is part of the act.
Deuce.
Everybody, when they're open, is knocking down shots, and that's what makes this offense so devastating.
Yep, no question.
All right, how about the defense leading offense? We saw a lot of that. And they're doing some things in transition that we haven't always seen because the defense, Alan, hasn't always been at this level. But the defense is at such a level that it's really helping them on offense.
It's the swarming that you're seeing. It's the second play energy that you're seeing from players. It's a lot of times not the guy guarding the ball, but somebody helping that gets the deflections, that gets the blocks and the steals. Through 3 quarters, they had 7 steals and 5 blocks. And that's not counting, of course, garbage time in the 4th quarter. But I thought, you know, we just saw Josh Hart now on 2 plays, and Wally, I thought his energy,
so good
for a guy who never he had single-digit stat line, he was phenomenal with his energy, and not only in defense and getting steals, but I thought defensive rebounds and turning them into quick breaks.
25 points off turnovers, guys.
Big
Look
number.
at that. 25.
Well, that's, you attack a team that's a little fatigued, coming off that emotional series against Boston. You get your hands on the ball, you get stops. Josh Hart was just firing that thing down the floor. He was getting it up the floor as quick as possible, one-man fast break, finding his teammates. I thought he was a huge key in the first half in setting the energy tone for this team. At home, that building, Alan, was on fire. So when that building's on fire the way it is, you need to raise your adrenaline level.
Yep.
If you're in a New York Knicks uniform, and Josh Hart did that perfectly in the first half. All his teammates followed. I thought he was great. His defense, his running the fast break, that's exactly what he brings, and he brought it big time in Game 1.
All right, guys, let's bring in Monica McNutt. As always, she helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York. Monica, another masterpiece for the Knicks. Seems like it's getting better with each successive game.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And I will admit that I have a little bit of pause just when you think about the nature of a 7-game series. I'm not surprised that Nick Nurse pulled his guys to give them a chance to try to recoup. Because remember, guys, the cadence of this series is every other day until we get to that 2-day break between games 6 and 7. But that aside, I loved the energy and the balance in terms of energy and effort. Everybody came with the right approach to tonight's contest. This was the opportunity, and the Knicks made an emphatic statement by capitalizing on it and not playing around at all, because it was a grueling 7-game series that the Sixers just came off of.
Yeah, Monica, on that point, like I asked Mikal Bridges about that after the game, about like how do you keep building on this 29-point win, 51-point win, 39-point win, and just make sure that this continues to carry over. And he said it's one game. Like the complacency thing with this team that we have said, you know, they're not really good when they're the front runners sometimes, like they get a little complacent. It feels like, I don't know if you notice it with them, that they've kind of learned after Game 3 and against Atlanta, that's got to stop.
Yeah, and well, I will add to what Bridges told you, what McBride told us in the post-game interview. And I said, you know, Mikal, this is now consecutive games where you've had a margin of at least 25. What's happening with this veteran group in terms of the poise that you guys are demonstrating? And he said, after the 2 one-point losses in the Atlanta series, it really woke us up. It caused us to lock in and understand that we have to make the most of every moment that we're presented. And so I would agree with you, Han. It is the thing that Mike Brown keeps. He makes this statement at his press conferences, but I almost feel that it is not truly appreciated in the way that it should be, in terms of this is a veteran group with experience.
Yeah, they sure are, Monica. And this is a veteran group with experience that should have a lot of confidence already. But I don't know. What do you think? It looks like they're gaining confidence with every single game in these playoffs right now.
Wally, I came into this one saying, I've been talking about this all day, obviously, early on the morning shows, but even tonight, I thought that both of these teams grew through their first series for different reasons. Tonight, though, I think you saw the Knicks take another step because you're right. Let's play with confidence. Let's get our guys going. Mikal Bridges had a terrific game. Josh Hart back into the three-point column with some confidence. Deuce McBride finding his way, knowing that he's going to be an X factor in this one. Even the way that Mikal Bridges was able to defend Tyrese Maxey in this one. Now, there's still some tape to be studied in terms of dealing with Joel Embiid, but I actually thought maybe something we should keep an eye out for was that in his minutes when he was called upon, Ariel Hukporti did a really good job against Embiid as well. And so I agree with you as this group's confidence continues to grow. I do expect the Sixers to punch back when we get here for Game 2 on Wednesday night.
Okay, and Monica, that's when we will see you Wednesday night. Game 2, Knicks and the Sixers. When we come